Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you for being here. We have so many people. I can't see you very much, and sorry about it. But I'll see you later. When after recording and everything presented to me, I can see you. And what we are going to talk about today is gut health. Actually, this when I was practicing, and I'm still practicing, and then so many people come to our clinic with gut issues. So many gut issues, starting from indigestion to stomach cancer. And there are huge number after the COVID, especially, people have had a lot of issues with the gut, and it is affected to their mental health. And there is a link between the gut and mental issues there as well. We are going to understand how can we look after our gut, how can we have better digestion, better elimination, better sleep, and better energy by this understanding how our guts works, okay? And first thing, if you're going to statistics, you can see whole world, 40% of people suffering from or suffered from gastroenteritis issues or gut issues. And 86% of British population suffered from gut issues. That means you can understand how important to look after our gut and how important to understand how it works to give us the maximum health. And when you go to common gut issues in UK, is starting from indigestion, gastritis, IBS, gastric ulcers, peptic ulcer, gastroenteritis, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, celiac cancer. This is the actually list, but more to that. But when we go to Ayurveda, it's all started from the indigestion. And indigestion causes you gastritis, gastritis causes you IBS, IBS causes you other issues. And that means when Ayurveda says the Pura Rupa means signs, the patient can feel it, like bloating, wind, and indigestion, a bit of feeling like lethargic in the body. And these kind of signs, if you understand early, we can prevent from the big issues like gastric ulcers to stomach cancers. And then we are going to understand how we understand our digestion, how we understand the pre-sign and symptoms, and how we understand what's good for our gut, how our digestion works. And that means this simple lecture gives you a little bit of idea, but not whole, because I don't have enough time to do go through every single disorder. But I have time to make you understand what are the fundamentals, how do we look after ourselves, and then we are going to talk about that. And this is to understand. I gave you that commonly, the statistics about the NHS and how many people. 1/3 of people in Britain have occasional symptoms. 1 in 10 are bad enough to go to GPs, because that's how the digestive problems like IBS very much common in this country and in abroad as well. And then we're going to understand the Ayurveda, what is said about gut issues, what is said about disorders. And when you go to the Ayurveda sloka, and it's called Roga Sarvepi Mandagna. Every kind of disorder exists is caused by the impaired digestive fire. And this is like most popular verse in Ayurveda. Every roga, every disease is caused by the impaired digestive fire. And we will go to Western kind of, or the some perspective in Western world, perspective. And then when we see the digestive disorders, we mainly concern about the food. What good for my gut? What good for me to have a better digestion? But no one talk about how my digestive fire works to invite the food I already can't eat. Because when you go to, especially when I consult a celiac person or anybody suffering from Crohn's or the colitis, everybody have a list, like I can't eat this one, I can't eat that one. And his list is getting longer and longer the time goes by. And then, everybody concerned about the food. What food is good, what food is bad to my digestive fire. But it's Ayurveda is very different way we're looking at the disorder. We are strengthening the digestive fire, and we are balancing the digestive fire to afford, or any food can be, you can digest any food you eat, or any food mean any kind of, like is anything you like, and you should be able to eat it. Otherwise, there's no point of living, because one of my patients came to my clinic one day, and he can only eat the boiled cabbage. And what's the point of living, And then as a human being, we should be able to eat what we wanted to eat and what you like to eat. And then to do that, you have to keep your digestive fire in balance and perfect condition. And otherwise, what happens is we have to, according to our, the disorder, we have to cut down all the food we consume sometimes, and it's called in Ayurveda, the Western world, it's called allergy. The allergy means a lot of patients comes to us, I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to that, and I can't eat this, I can't eat this. But, the actual problem is not the food. Your fire, your gut fire is not good enough to digest that food. And then we have to focus about the digestive fire. We call in Ayurveda Agni. Agni means the fire. Every festivals and every religious festival is a fire is supposed to be very major event, major element in the world, because of fire. A representation is the transformation from one to other, and it's happened in our gut. And we have to understand how is our gut fire and how it works, and then what can I eat? Anyway, the Ayurveda says, if your gut fire is good, you can digest stones. There's no problem at all. If your digestive fire is bad, it doesn't matter you're eating caviar, or it doesn't matter you're eating the best food, but you can't digest. And that means keep your digestive fire in balance is the most important thing Ayurveda focus. And then when you go to think about what is the fire, where it's come from, and is your fireplace or your gut is your engine. If you think you are a car, you are a Ferrari car, you have a nice outer body, outer coat, but you have to, it doesn't matter out how much, how beautiful, how sophisticated, or how brilliant, but your engine has to be working properly, your car to be going that journey. And that is the fire. That fire we call gut fire. We call this is transformative energy in the body. We could put anything into your, anything in any food you can eat, and your gut fire has to be stimulated. And then what happens is produce much energy to your body. That energy create all function in your body. And then what happened? The Agni is impaired. Agni is not good. And when you see this diagram, you can see Agni, normally the fire, staying in a stomach or the like gut. And how that gut is, the gut health affected to your head. And if I give you an example, if you go into office or something like that, people working pretty hard, and then you can see if the lunchtime, if that lunchtime passes or something, they feel really agitated. Oh my God, I didn't eat. If as soon as you feel like you're not, treating your gut fire nicely, what the people can have, the agitation, the anger is, that's something, they can kill somebody if you're not having a food. And then all the things is, all the agitation started after 1 o'clock if somebody's not eating, and they make the whole office like a hell because they're shouting and screaming and giving all the people the, targets and everything, it is because of not that they're angry, their digestive fire is telling us, okay, give me some food, otherwise I'm going to go to the head and make you feel like you need to eat, you need to give me energy, if I wanted to give you energy. And that means, as soon as you eat something, what happens? It's becoming like calmer and nicer and a little bit, you can deal with that person. One of my patients said, I can, if I, throw in some chocolate biscuit to my boss, and he's a little bit calm, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 1 o'clock, she's like, she can eat everything. Because why? It has effect on our head. If you're not treating your gut properly with a nice food, and the timing the gut fire comes, you have to identify if it is not feeding it properly, and then agitation, anger, mental health, mental issues come, mental issues. And it is like, I give you one example of, you can see, but if you do it long time, what happens? A lot of people, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to drink water to subside my hunger because I will put on weight. What happened? This, what you're doing is you're not, you can't do if the child is crying, you as a mother, you can't slap the child and ask, shut up. You can ask, why are you crying? Then you can admit to give something the child wanted. His gut is like that. If the gut saying to your head, I'm angry, I can't do anymore, give me some food and give me some the nourishment, and otherwise I'm not going to be happy. And then this is the connection between the gut and mental health. And then the thing, abusing, if you continuously abusing the gut, not giving what the gut is needed, and mental illnesses can appear. And same as the heart, there's a verse in English, in English terminal, the language. If you have to go to your lover's heart, the pathway is the gut, you see, you have to cook nice food, you have to present nice food, and you have to give the person with, nice loving kindness with the food, and then like your heart is like stimulating, and then that's what is like a journey to your lover's heart through the gut. And same time you can see if young people, like teenagers fall in love, or even the adult or anybody fall in love, mean they lose a little bit the appetite. That means they are energized by the love. Energized, then that means it's a little bit, give a stomach a little bit of rest. And same times is stimulating ojas, and ojas can stimulate the heart. And then that I said to you that this mind and this one, the stimulating heart. The other thing is the digestion. Strong digestion can stimulate the energy. As soon as you're eating very good food, but you feel like, oh, I energize my body. I'm good. I can do some work. And then we call this Vyanavata, is this increase the energy throughout the body. And that is the other thing is happening. And the last thing is the colon. If I got to explain a little bit more nicely how these digestion influence the head, and the Ayurvedically we call the mind has 3 qualities: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattvic quality, if you close your eyes, if you see yourself a little bit, you can see that 3 kind of things combination in your head, like sattvic quality, loving, kindness, contentment, happiness, creation. And same time is the rajas quality, the anger, frustration, and the aggressiveness, sometimes passion, desire, that kind of whole thing is rajas quality. And tamas quality is the low state of mind, mood is a little bit down, sometimes the sadness and depression. And when you think about our mind, this mind consists with these all 3 qualities. And when you have a good food, what it's stimulating is sattvic quality. And that means you can have loving, kindness, happiness, contentment, this whole thing comes. And it decreases in the rajas qualities. And that means, the anger, frustration, the agitation is reducing, and at the same time, the tamas quality is reducing. There's a little bit, instead of a low state of mind, it's increased the high state of mind or happiness, and then do something, and with your mind and active a little bit, and come out from the depression and feeling a little bit happier. And this is all thing happening with the food. If you put nice food into your gut, and nice Agni stimulating the digestive fire is really up to the optimum condition, and your sattvic quality is increasing, rajasic quality and samasic qualities is reducing, and it gives you a contentment and happiness. And that's what people eat food, to make yourself happy and content, and energize and love, feeling loving and satisfaction. Otherwise, people won't eat food. Only give you energy. This whole thing has to stimulate in your body, in your gut. Agni has to be stimulated in your gut to feel the sattvic quality in your head. And then a lot of people, you go to the Hare Krishna temple or the religious events, you can see, the food. We call it temple food. What does this temple food mean? It is increasing. That is mean it's like it's giving maximum satisfaction and maximum nutrition. And then you feel like your sattvic quality is increasing. It's tastes nice. And then all things is make you feel like, oh, my mind is really good. And that's why the temples and any other religious events, they present it with food. After they eating food, they're calm, they're nice, they can listen to the sermons, listen to the talks, listen to the, any kind of spiritual talks. Otherwise, people say, they're like a little bit, agitation. If you're hungry, the agitation comes. Agitation is not very good when you go to places like spiritual places. And that means always spiritual places presented with a nice sattvic food, and then people can be happier and content and loving and kindness around them. And that's what is food do to yourself. And then if you go to the good food, and it's improve your digestion, and through digestion, and then you then last bit of nourishment, essence of your food we call ojas. Ojas in Ayurveda. Ojas is responsible for love, immunity, community, and connection. And mostly is immunity. And that's why we eating food to have a better connection and better immunity. And immunity and connection is always go together, and then, that's why food always surrounded with the community. And, if you see any events like Christmas or somebody's birthday parties or some events, always consist with food. Why is that? Food is giving you immunity, and immunity gives you love gives you community. And then the whole thing is not we understand today, and we've gone to centuries, our lineage, like people, they do the festival as surrounded by food and the community to increase the immunity. And, when your COVID happened, what happened is we put a mask on to our face, and mask on to our relationship, mask on to our, two people sit down and eat together, and it affected to our mental health enormously, because it's affected to our ojas, immunity, and then immunity is stimulated heart, and the heart had to be having connection with somebody, and then this whole thing is broken. Because why? Like we put a mask and we can't, smile with anybody. We didn't go out. We couldn't find our loved ones, and we couldn't give a hug to anybody. We didn't, we have the loss of connection. That all affected to our digestion as well, and digestion affected to the ojas. And this whole thing is connecting. And people who manage to have good digestion, good good food, and they little bit keep up with this disturbance we have with in a COVID time. And it was really hard for people. People suffer from very much mental health now, result of that, and it's because of the ojas, immunity. Immunity is deflated in ourselves, and that make you like more disorders we can catch, and then it's affected to our love, connection, and immunity. And the good food, other things, is encourage the body to have shakti. Shakti means the power, and then the courage, and the bala, strength. And these two is physiologically is very much affected by the agni and the good food, and good, if you have a good digestion, and if you have a good the food, and it's encourage your vata, pitta, and kapha to be in a balanced stage. And don't ask me vata, pitta, what is vata, pitta, kapha, because I can't explain now in this lecture. But it's three energies in our body has to be balanced, and then it's created by this virya, shakti, and bala, the courage, power, and stability and strength, stimulated by the agni, digestive fire, and the good food. And good food and good digestion also stimulated our detoxifying method in the body. We don't have to do detox differently. Our body is having the detoxifying some kind of channels. If anywhere, if you go to a bad restaurant, a good restaurant, having a bad food or something, you can see we feel like our detoxifying method, the machine is working, and it's like we feel like kind of vomiting. feel like diarrhea, we feel like sweating. And it's because what the body does at that point is to expel that all the toxins is stimulating our gut to, expel our toxins by sweating, by vomiting, by going to toilet, feces. And these, in this, our body, this sophisticated machine we call, this excretory system is installed, and we don't have to do detox separately. If we have good food, it's encourage detox. And if you have good food and good digestion, and it is, and you can't, your body can't keep toxins in. It's made to expel the toxins, and we don't have to do anything. Even you put stitches into your back passage and hold it your poo, can't do that. Because why? Body is supposed to do that. They're supposed to expel our toxins. And that means if you have some bad food and your digestion is working to expel that toxins through vomiting or digestion or sweating or feces or something like that. And this good food and good digestion encourage that, encourage your, your detoxifying system. And it is, you feel like you're going to toilet and you won a lottery and whole gone, I'm good, and they just feel like I'm ready for my day. And that's happening by stimulating, your digestive fire to maximum potency, maximum level, and eating good food. And that means you don't need to do extra detoxifying, activities if you keep your digestion is in a good, optimum condition. And we will go and see what is the bad digestion versus the good digestion versus the bad digestion, what is happening in our body. And if good digestion always encourage happiness, satisfaction, and contentment, and ojas. And that means if somebody cooking nicely, if somebody have like nice meals, and you can see them, they are happy, as a lot of people say, oh, I eat, I'm so happy now. And or somebody's house, they go in and then some host, like somebody make a really nice food and really tasty and everything. And then somebody can say, oh, I eat, oh, I feel like so nice and I'm so satisfied. I feel so, honored to be put good food into my gut, and that it can feel it. And then nowadays what we're doing is we don't give a chance you to see how do I feel after eating my food. How do I feel? Do I feel satisfied? Do I feel good? Do I feel like I am okay? And a lot of people do, doesn't matter, you have very good food and satisfied, but still you run to the fridge and eating some chocolate. What else I can do? What else I can do? That means you are not satisfied with your meal. And there is something you to think about. Why don't I satisfied with my meal? And that means meal need to be consist with 6 tastes. Ayurvedic people who are there, like in here, there are 6 tastes there. Sweet, savory, salty, astringent, pungent, and bitter. And food need to be consistent with this 6 tastes. That means you don't feel like, you satisfied your palate, and it is giving you some kind of juices you need to digest, and this whole machine is working very different way than, what you think, because you have to think, you have to make good food, you have to enjoy the food, you have to sit down and eat, and this all giving you satisfaction and contentment and ojas. If it is not what happened, you don't think is food is the problem, but it is sadness and depression. And depression is depress the ojas, and ojas can create again sadness. This is like a vicious cycle is going. And that means if you don't feel like I'm satisfied, you have to question and ask why I'm not satisfied. Maybe my food is bland, or my food is not good how the way I cooking, or my digestion is not good. And I have to identify where's the problem. There's two problems. And food is not good. Okay, I can cut down all the food. And then tomorrow, not the food I affected, I'm not feeling good. I feel indigestion. Then you cut down that piece of food. And then next day, another thing I reacting to. And that means it's not the food. It is my digestion is the problem. How do I create good digestion stimulate my digestion to digest the food which I put in from the outside, and that is the bad digestion and good digestion. And it is energized, good digestion energized all the bodily, functions, like it calls Shakti or the Bala, strength, and the whole strength and the energy is stimulated by good food. And good digestion. Bad digestion, what is doing is make you lethargic, heavy, and no energy. There is a lot of people coming to us and saying these things, I eat really good food, but I don't feel satisfied. I feel really heavy. I don't feel like energy. I feel like lethargy, even though I eat a very good food. I eat 3 times a day. I go for, like every health magazine, they ask me to do this to that, A to Z, but doesn't feel any energy at all. I feel very lethargic. I feel depressed. And why is that? It's because either your food is not good to match to your digestion. And, like when you, the good digestion encourage the detoxifying, event. That means if you have a good food, it's encourage your whole, stimulating whole toxins to let it out from your body. But otherwise, what happens? It's blocked. You feel like blocked. You feel like heavy. You feel like, toxins in my body. There's a lot of people who come to clinic, and one thing they highlighting, I need a detox. Otherwise, why do you need a detox? You have a method installed in your body. You can't keep toxins in your body. It had to expel, but people feel like I'm toxicated. Because why? This digestion is not good. If digestion is not good, what happened? The arm has formed. I will go to another slide, later. And then the digestive fire, what we call is Agni. Agni is, everybody has their unique the way of how their digestive tract is working. It's like a DNA code. If I say my digestion and your digestion, and even though we eat one kind of food, and it's differently digested. Because why? Is your digestion is not same as my digestion, digestive fire or Agni. Sometimes you can see some food, you can go to somebody's house and they will present a food, and everybody can react very differently. And I thought, after that, I feel like bloated. I think somebody can say, no, I feel good. It's really nice. Somebody can say, I gone to diarrhea. I couldn't. And I think somebody can say, I don't feel all right with that. And it's like, why is that? Because everybody react differently to the food outside. Because why? Because your digestion. That's why people have, I like this food kind of thing. Some people say, I like this kind of food. What is that saying about your digestion? You can be husband and wife, but if you make a food, I don't like it, and as a wife, I like it, and then you saying about your digestive fire, like or dislike coming from how do I digest my food. And if you're easy to digest, and if you have like just with that, if you have a lot of satisfaction with it, and some people like that food, and like me, that is how is the digestion is working. And you don't have to hold your nose and eat the grass. That's what people doing now. And because you don't like it, then don't do it, But now is this the every method you go to, the internet or anything like that, they give so many method, and so many, somebody vegan, somebody vegetarian, somebody this, somebody that, so many diversion of, what they can eat, divided to loads of the community, one community divided to so many communities like vegan, vegetarian, meat eaters, vegetarian, the what is called the other one, like occasional eaters, something like that, occasional meat eaters, and kind of thing, and like that, so many variation. And yes, but it doesn't fit to everybody. You like your food, he likes his food, but we can cook together, eat together, but we don't have to go to, this is you can't say your husband, hey darling, grass is much better than meat, we can eat meat rather than eating, we can eat grass than the meat, some people do that, and then like you feel like, you like it or not, somebody saying so, my digestion how is working, I will go for it, and it is completely wrong. And you can't ask somebody else how my digestion is working. You have to ask yourself, do I like it or do I not like it? If you don't like it, don't force it, and that is your digestion. And then that is, you respect yourself, and then because somebody says so, like, this, the carrot and, celery and this, that juice together in morning, that is good, but it's no taste, no, the appetite, but you drink it because somebody is saying it is good for you. How do you know that? You have to know yourself. If you don't like it, don't have it, and that is in our body. And listen to this body, listen to your digestion, and it will tell you what is good for you, what it can digest. And that is what we is not having these days, because that some magazine, some articles, somebody want to sell something, they make up a story, we buy the thing, we have this juice to that juice to probiotic, the antibiotic to everybody, we use it. And it is not in Ayurveda. Ayurveda always saying Agni is unique. Agni digestify is very unique to every, it is like our DNA code. And you understand yourself. That you think, it is like you're not, you knowing that, because you think like my instincts, my gut fire. You're saying things like that. What is it saying? My gut saying is no. What is my gut saying is no? You know about yourself. My instinct is come from where? From gut, not heart, not head. My instincts say no. My gut say no. And that is like you knowing that about how your gut fire works. But normally what people do is go beyond that, and then go beyond your own, intuition, and do something somebody says so, and then Ayurveda always asks you to recognize your gut fire. If it is not, what should we do about it? If not like cutting every food in the world to match into my gut fire. And it doesn't work like that. And yes. And anyway, how much we talk about in digestive fire or what we eat, 100% you eat, 90% you expel from your body. Only less than 5% we absorbs to your body. And that means whole thing is what we're talking is no point. Somebody make a pill, 5% of this, what you need the body, this is what you need, and have it. And why anybody in the planet couldn't do it? Because we are human beings. We have come with the tongue, the instrument called tongue, and the tongue need to be satisfied. The palate, that means people need to have satisfaction. Satisfaction is make you the body, not even the nutrition, your head, your body, your whole as a human being, you're satisfied by eating. Forget about everything. What are you living now? Why are you doing a job? Why you doing a job? At the end is you need the money to buy food. Otherwise, at the end, that is the end point. You eat, you have to eat because this body need the food to be alive, to do what you ask it to do, and that means end of the day, what we're doing is to put food into this machine to do whatever we like to do. But that's what 100% what we eating is 95% is going out with like a feces, sweat, urine kind of thing. And the other percentage is going like nail, hair, earwax, saliva, like that. These loads of things are going out. Very small amount of nutrition we absorb to the body. And then when we, whole point of eating, I think, why we eating? Why we eating? And because it's the two things, is Ayurveda says, Pranana and Jivana. That expectation is focused on two different areas. Pranana. Pranana means to be satisfied. We eating to be satisfied, or to feel like, oh, I'm so good. I'm so content. I feel like my body is really nice. I'm satisfied. I feel like taste. I feel like good. And this whole thing called pranana. Pranana means whole satisfaction. And the second thing is jivana. Jivana means life endurance, like to be nourished, nourishment. Like because this body is always degeneration and regenerating. And that means the body to build up. We eat to give a maximum nutrition to our gut, the body, and same times pranana, the satisfaction. Food need to be consistent with both things, the satisfaction and the nutrition. Satisfaction is for 5 seconds, you see. You cook a meal for 5 hours, you sit down and eat 5 minutes, and then after it's goes, it's go, satisfied, finish. And then sometimes I think to myself, when I cook a nice meal, it takes 2 hours to cook a loads of, and then my children and my husband, everybody eat, 5 minutes, finish. I thought, oh, what's the point? What's the point? And because it's a satisfaction, it's not last long very much, and you feel satisfied. You can stay with that idea of satisfied, and I ate a good meal. I feel good. But actually the satisfaction only happen is a fragment of time is in your palate. Restaurant people, they know that. They don't think about your jivana, life endurance, nutrition, blah, blah, blah. They going to see a maximum satisfaction for 5 seconds. And they put cream, cheese, caviar, this, that, anything. make it really nicely, and until it's going through your mouth to stomach. And that's what they all care about, you know. Then you will go next time if food is good. If food is not good, if somebody's restaurant is like, food is really not tasty at all, you go in because of it's giving you your life endurance, you know, it gives you maximum nutrition. Do you go to the restaurant? No, you won't. Because why? It's no point. You need to think. And restaurant people, you know, like the crowd, you know, who selling your food, they know this really well. They give you preenan, sweet, savory, salty, maximum taste, and you go there and then you eat, and you don't think about what you and only think about the preenan, and that means it's not very good. But if you're a mother, if you are cooking a meal at home, you put all the tastier thing together and make it more tastier? No, you think nutrition. And sometimes in a boiled broccoli in a plate, and mother saying, eat the broccoli. It's good for you. Eat the broccoli. And then, you know, I did my children. And then there's no preenan at all. There's no satisfaction. You don't think the children going to eat like that? Eat the broccoli. It is good. It's good for you. And that mother's talking about the jivana, the nutrition. And nutrition, they forcing the children to eat like nutrient food with the nutrient. But if it is not tasty, they won't eat it. And that means your food need to be preenan and jivana, satisfied and tastier, to taste bud to stimulate, because when the taste bud stimulate, it's create a lot of digestive juice. And digestive juice means enzymes. The enzymes create, you know, enzymes transform the energy to the food energy to the energy in the body. And that means preenan and jivana. And these two things are most important when you prepare a food. It need to be tastier. It need to be nourished. And that may consist with the nutrition. And then it's called a good food in Ayurveda. And that is most important thing we have to recognize when you presenting food, cooking food, and eating food. It need to consist with satisfaction and nutrition both. Okay, and when you go to the Ayurvedic digestive fire, and we classified or we categorize the strength of digestive fire to 3 different areas, and they called Vishamagni. Vishamagni means this very much, you know, sometimes, you know, people, you can see in your normal life, some people, you know, like very, very weird. They eat all thing at once and they can stay without eating for 12 hours, 13 hours, then eat something or not eating, and then eat again so much, and then, you know, eat different thing. And this call is Vishama Agni. Vishama Agni is always associated with the Vata type of people. And don't ask me again who are the Vata type people. Vata type, you know, like is like people consist with, people made up with the air and ether element, and called Vata type of people. And they talk quickly, walk quickly, and, you know, just slim and lose weight very quickly, and, you know, quite a mobile and talkative, and this kind of thing, this can see with the Vata category. And they associated the Vishamagni. Vishamagni means Agni, their digestive fire going, sometimes slow, sometimes high, and fluctuating high to low all the time. And then the other category is called Tikshana Agni. Tikshana Agni means associate with the Pitta people, which called fire element, fire people, consist with the fire element, you know, and it's like this digestive fire is like a very defined and very strong digestive fire is like these people had to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Very sharp, very timely digestive fire they have. If they don't treat it properly, they started to have a lot of mental unrest, and that call is Tikshana Agni. And then third one called Mandagni. Mandagni means low digestive fire, and it is associated with the Kapha people. Kapha people mean Kapha constitution, and which is made by the earth and water quality. And it's, you know, like it's very slowly. It's like it's slow digestion, and then it has to treat like, you know, for example, this kind of Kapha Mandagni mean they can feel the hunger like 2 times a day, sharp hunger, and then you have to treat that Agni very nicely, or the digestive fire, eat some food, and then they can stay. If you give very good food at that point, and they can stay a little bit calm until another 6-7 hours. Then they again have digestive fire stimulated, and then we can properly identify that and treat nicely. And then when you go into when the Agni is in balance or impaired, and then you can't cook what you put into your digestion, and that means it can provide toxins, promote the toxins, and it's called armor. That armor circulates the whole body and give you the disorder. And you know, that is the main reason we are sick. This armor is the digestive fire is impaired, and the armor, the toxins is forming, and toxins circulate with the body and give you the disorder. And that means Agni has to be looked after, and same times, according to the Agni, what you put into the body need to be considered, and otherwise your digestion is going wrong. And then, sorry. Yeah, and no matter if you have a Vata type person having a Tikshana Agni, Pitta type person, you have a, Vata type person, you have a Vishama Agni, Pitta type person have Tikshana Agni, or Kapha type person have Mandagni, Vata type. Impaired, and Pitta is very sharp and timely one, and the Kapha one is a slow one. And no matter what kind of digestive fire you have to achieve to the Sama Agni. Sama Agni means everybody doesn't have to be coming to the same level. And Sama Agni means identify your digestion and treat it nicely. And that is called Sama Agni. Sama Agni means every Vata, Pitta, Kapha people not have to achieve the same Agni level, same the meter, same reading of the meter. And it is different to individuals. And Vata person has, if you are a Vata person, if you have a Vishamagni, it is okay. You don't have to come into the, you know, like the actual horizontal, you know, like line. It has to be not fluctuating that way, you know, not fluctuating up and down a lot. And they have to manage to keep the digestive fire not fluctuating that much, but they can't get away from Vishamagni. They are the Vata type associated with the Vishamagni. Vishamagni means the impaired digestive fire, but it is okay for them. But not going so high and low is the one you got to be considered. And Pitta type person, and you can't change it to horizontal line again. Pitta type of person also fluctuate, you know, like you know, in some kind of nice rhythm. But rhythm, this has to be manageable. they have to eat 3 times, and it is good, but they don't have to eat like a pigs 3 times. They have to not eat like whole thing, and they have to eat 3 times, but this is need to be kind of manageable. You identify the Pitta Agni and treat it as nicely with a nice food. And Kapha person also the same. And Kapha person Manda Agni, the digestive fire is low, and it has to be stimulated and bring out to some kind of place, some kind of higher state, and then it's going down again. And that is what we are going Samadhi. And it's like everybody has different Agni level, the gate, like a temperature gate inside your body, and identify that and treat it better. And this, how do we treat our Agni, and how do we select the food according to our constitution, according to our digestion? And that is other one to be focused. And Ayurveda said, Sarvada Sarvabhavanam Samanyam Buddhi Karanam. That means, if you go into a little meaning of that, similarity increases the similarity. Similar thing, like, you think it's like when you put water into a bucket of another water, amount of water is increased. And that because similar thing is increasing similarity. And like that, Ayurveda says, the Vata increased by Vata type of food and lifestyle, and Pitta increased by Pitta type of food and lifestyle. Kapha increases by Kapha type of food and lifestyle. And that means if you are a Vata person, you're about to get, because, if you're a Vata person, you might like some food, and I can't change it, and I can't change anybody's likability, like even food or a man or the sports or something like that. You like that, you can't change it. And you think about what I like and how do I treat that. But if you consume what you like more, you're going to be in balance. If you let's say you like to drink milk, and okay, you can drink 1 cup of milk in the morning. But if you drink 3 cups of milk, what happened? It is increased, like it is have adverse effect on your body, and then what you have to do is identify what you like and go to what you dislike to adjust the like and not like. You know what I mean. Vata kind of promote dry, cold, and light kind of mobile qualities. For example, dry, if you eat like nuts and seeds and salads and quinoa and everything, it is like dry and cold, and the mobile qualities food. Vata people like it, and it is okay. It is no problem at all, as long as Vata person is balanced. Balance means, I like for example, if you say like, the one of person can come and say, I really like my quinoa in the morning with a little bit of nuts and cold milk, and it is really good for me. It's good, as long as if you feel like good, don't change anything. But if same person say, I feel like really good, but after 10 minutes, I feel like bloating. And that means this is not good for you. That means you have to change that food to the heavy, warm, oily food. Rice pudding is good rather than quinoa salad in the morning. And like that, you have to see what I'm doing right and wrong and adjust that, And that's what we need to do. Knowing Ayurveda, you can give the capability of identify your digestive fire. And as long as I I'm okay with, I have no bloating, no wind, I have good energy, I have nice immunity, I feel satisfied, I have no mental illness or any depression. What you're doing is right. And don't change anything. The magazine says so. Don't eat avocado on an egg because magazine says so. Whatever you do is right. And when you go to the most healthiest people live in the UK, the after war, 1950s, because they have less food and they have access to not access to the food from the outside, and they have more active, and they have think about their digestion and eat properly, and that's what they were really healthy and happy actually. Now when you go to supermarket and you're going to buy an apple, oh my god, 1,000 kind of apple, you lost. In a Vata type people like, oh my god, my head is already in a pickle, I can't do this. And then you're going to find a cereal, 10 type of 20 type of cereal, and they're going bonkers with that. And then it's more that like selecting things according to your gut is another degree you have to do now because there are so many varieties of food available in a supermarket, and that means you have to really find where you live and what your ancestor the food look like, what they have eaten to be stay healthy and happy, and just think rather than follow some ideas. And that's what the Ayurveda always saying. Doesn't matter, I give you thousands of millions of like diet sheets and food regimes and habits and everything. If you don't ask the question, do I like it? Do I feel good eating this? It's not for me. Like the Pitta people in a Pitta constitution like to eat oily, hot, and sharp qualities. No problem with that. If you're going to Spain or France or Italy, you can see a lot of people eat that oily, hot, sharp quality food, and more Pitta people screaming, shouting as well. Sometimes, they are very emotional and they telling everything to them. It's like because of the nation is, they don't say it's a bad thing because it's stimulating I don't say these emotions out is a bad thing. But in some countries, some nations say, oh no, you don't need to, you can't talk about your emotions. You have to just let it somewhere. But when you eat in that sharp, oily and hot food, and it stimulates your energy, fire, and they talk their heart. They talk what they think, the feelings, and that is a Pitta food does, And if you too much talk about, like too much get angry, agitation, and too much, offending somebody, you need to change your food because it's give you too much Pitta. And if it is burn yourself and it feel like a gastritis, hot flashes, hotness in the body, then you have to change your body, your food to cooling, moist, alkaline kind of food. And then you can feel like, that I'm not angry like before. I'm not, agitated like before. My hotness is a little bit calmed down. And because you go to the opposite qualities of the food, and you're going to couple, like if couple, it promotes, like cold, heavy, and oily food, like bread and butter, cheese, bread and butter, and, like wheat and dairy. And that is promote the couple. And then as long as the couple person happy and stay without any disorder, they can really happy with that. And then you don't need to change anything. But if they put on weight, if you feel like a little bit heavy and, feel like cough and cold and a lot of phlegmy kind of disorder, then you have to think about, that is not very good for me now. We had to go to the opposite quality, and its opposite quality is a little bit light, hot, and dry. Kind of acidic food is good for that instance, you know. And this little understanding of food is really give you a idea of how to identify my gut, how to identify my food, how to select my food. And this one piece of jigsaw puzzle is missing in here. Identify yourself, like constitution, your digestion. According to your constitution, your digestion plane. And that means, if you go into other lectures of mine, there is some, you can have a lot of lectures in the internet. Identify your constitution, and you identify your digestive fire, and how to treat your digestive fire, and identify your qualities and opposite qualities of the food, and identify your sign and symptoms: bloating, wind, lethargic, not satisfied, and having a lot of anxiety, anger. This whole thing is created by the food, and I think is enough now, and you can ask some questions. I think, you might have learned a little bit more about the digestion. And